Mo said to us this week that he feels it's his best chance of ever winning the Ballon d'Or this year. What hopes do you have for him in that respect?
A lot, because it's completely true that he's had very, very, very good seasons at Liverpool. But this one probably stands out in terms of numbers. And if you add to that we also won the league, that would probably give him a fair chance. But fortunately for all the football fans around the world, he's not the only player that has had a great season. So I think we were able to watch many great football players this season again. But if there's ever a chance for him, it would be this season. If not, then he's going to try and push even harder next season. That's what I already know with him.
That'd be some task improvement.
In terms of individual performance, that would be hardly impossible, although never say that something is impossible for Mo, because he's proven that he can always raise his game even further. And that's, I think, also the elite mentality that a star player should have. Never be satisfied with where you are. And that's the mentality he has. In terms of team, we can do a bit better, because we've played for 4 trophies and we've only won 1.
But the biggest.
The biggest, that's true.
But obviously Sunday and Monday we're looking at
the hardest, I would say.
Yeah.
Maybe the biggest. You can always debate on that, but the hardest. Yeah.
Obviously Sunday and Monday we're looking at celebration. I know there's a game to play as well. What concerns do you have that the celebration could be overshadowed by any adverse reaction to Trent? And are you likely to give him 5 minutes or longer to say that goodbye? Or
I haven't decided on that one yet, but I think this should be a day that everybody is going to enjoy. It's been 35 years. Everybody is waiting for this moment, or everybody, but the Liverpool fans are waiting for this moment. And I think we've set the example against Tottenham. I don't think I've ever been part of I've ever seen celebration in a nicer way done than that day. Everybody, and that's what one of the 2 things that make me emotional is. One of them was how we arrived at the stadium when the fans were singing for us, and the second one is that I've met in the last few weeks multiple people telling me I'm going to Anfield now for all my life, but I've never felt a day what was more special than that one, Tottenham at home. So I am hoping that we can add a moment like this to it, and I think everybody that's in the stadium deserves to be there. The fans, the staff, but also the players, and one of my players is Trent, so he definitely deserves to be there as well, because he's been part of an incredible successful season and incredible successful years at this club. So yeah, I can only hope that we do it one more time over what we did against Tottenham, and I have a lot of trust in our fans to do the same again.
Fitting, obviously finishing the season against the FA Cup winners, but I just wonder what your overriding emotion will be when you and your players go up and finally lift that Premier League trophy as well. In front of your predecessor as well, of course.
Sorry?
In front of your predecessor.
Yeah, I've heard he's there. Yeah, it's nice. Proud, special, but I think proud sums up the most, because after working here for a year now, I know even better how hard it is. That's why I just said it's the hardest trophy to win, because cup trophies, you doesn't have to be, you can win those by a lucky draw or being lucky in 2 or 3 games, by maybe win a penalty shootout, and then all of a sudden you arrive in the final. But it's always harder to win the league because it's 38 games, and in a period of time where the league has never been as strong as it is. I don't think there's ever been so much competition, even for teams even to go to the Champions League. So that and there's never been a season where the number 16 and 17 or 15 and 16 of the Premier League play in a final against each other in the Europa League. So that's what makes it so hard. So that would definitely be a proud moment for me and for the players, and also for our fans. So let's hope it's also going to be a special one.
Alan Hansen presenting the trophy to you on Saturday, who was a brilliant broadcaster as well as a phenomenal footballer. He was part of a team, a squad that won 8 league titles in a decade. Off the back of what we've just seen Manchester City do as well, and you stopping that, what is the potential of your team? Do you think that you've got the potential, maybe not to get 8 and 10 years, or maybe you kind of don't know, what can they achieve?
Now I think we have a lot to compete next season again. But what I don't know yet, and that's going to be the interesting one, is if we have this elite mentality, this serial winner mentality of showing up season after season after season. And I think I get the answer already on the 8th of July when we come back together to see in what shape the players are, because many teams have won the Premier League once, but not many have won them multiple seasons in a row, and that's for a reason. First of all, because it's so difficult. Second of all, that not every player has this elite mentality. When I talk about Mo, it's not a coincidence that he's for 7 years already on a certain level. And last season, he was the one that was the most fittest when we arrived back after the break. So that is a mentality you need to have a chance of becoming a serial winner. And this is something we have to prove. And the players have to prove, and me as well, during the off-season. And the first day for me to judge if we have a chance to become serial winners is the 8th of July, when I see them back.
Just in terms of the players, I'm just wondering how they all are ahead of this one. And in particular, it was nice to see Joe Gomez, who's probably one of the nicest people on the planet, back in the squad and on the bench last week. And his next appearance would be his 150th for Liverpool. Is he ready to make that this weekend?
Last weekend he was there with the team, but he was not able to play yet. He didn't tick all the boxes yet, but I think there was a spot open or left. So it was for me a moment where I could show my gratitude towards him for what he's done on the pitch for us, but also off the pitch. And this is also something I want to address with Trent, because for a fan, these players are all professionals, or the players, but for me as a manager, they're not only the player, but they're also the human being. And like you say, and that's what you know, and I think maybe the fans as well, but Joe Gomez is indeed one of the nicest persons you can meet. But he's also inspiring his teammates when he's not playing. So he has had more impact on our success than the outside world might probably know. So I'm hoping that he can make some minutes tomorrow if he ticks all the boxes this week. Sunday, not tomorrow.
Arne, it's been a fabulous first season for you, and you've made the point that you inherited a wonderful squad from Jurgen Klopp. But quite a few of the individual players at Liverpool, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Virgil van Dijk, and also Mo Salah, have made the point that you've changed their game in some way. You've tried to add something. So what is it that you have in your coaching toolbox that sort of enables elite players to get even better on a day-to-day basis? What do you use to sort of to get those sort of improvements?
I can only tell you what I did, and I'm quite sure, I would say 99.9, but maybe even 100% that Jurgen did the same things. But if you are 8 or 9 years together and working for a long time together with the players, that's going to happen with me as well. Maybe at a certain moment, players get a little bit more used to the things you tell them. So we always, all managers, we try to inspire them to get the best out of them every 3 days, to and the best, I mean, in work rate, in quality. And we always try to let the team play better together, and as a result of that, the individual looks much better. And every manager has his own way of doing these things. So I've said many times there are many similarities between the two of us, but it would be a completely surprise to me that if every team meeting of Jurgen and me were exactly the same, and the way we inspire and the way we do things. So it's maybe just a new face in front of them, not better, not worse, just new, that lifted them maybe a little bit. not a lot, because Mo, Virgil and Trent have been outstanding for this club for all these years Jurgen was here. And they've been outstanding this season as well.
As far as Sunday is concerned, it's going to be a really memorable day, whatever happens. But in the 3 games since the title was yours, against Chelsea there were some good moments. The same against Arsenal, and last in Monday night against Brighton. But you haven't been able to come up with the win. It will be much more memorable if you can sign off with the victory in front of the fans, just to make it an even more special occasion. Yeah. What's going to enable you to make that happen?
Now, we need to do maybe a few things better, but in my opinion, we've done a lot of things very good in all these 3 games. But unfortunately, or maybe the good thing for us was that we had to play these games in the end of the season. And I'm still really happy with the fact that we already won the league, because Chelsea away is for everyone a difficult game. Arsenal at home is for everyone a difficult game, and Brighton away is for everyone a difficult game as well. We're not the first, and we will not be the last that lose at Brighton or lose at Chelsea away. So I've seen many, many, many good things throughout these 3 games, but conceded 3 against Chelsea, conceded 2 against Arsenal, conceded 3 against Brighton. That's not of our standards throughout the whole season. So that maybe it's always been a thin line, all these games we've played, but normally we don't concede 8 goals in 3 games. So that tells you that maybe in terms of work rate, the runs we make, the distance we run, and all this kind of is all similar. So no one can tell us that we switched off. But blocking a cross, blocking a shot, throw yourself in front of a ball, that is maybe 1 or 2% less, and then immediately this league hurts you, especially if you play Chelsea, Arsenal, and Brighton. I think all 3 games we were close of winning it. We didn't, because we faced 3 very good teams, and we're indeed hoping we can win on Sunday. But we're gonna face a strong team, because this team won against City, and am I correct if I say no? They had a draw against Arsenal away. So that is what sometimes happens. Maybe we've been lucky that we've had the other games earlier on in the season, and that we've built up a margin that we did. That is no luck, by the way. That was work rate.
Thank you.
Hi. Sorry to bring it back to Trent again, but have you spoken to him about the reaction he got last time he was at Anfield, and also talked about his expectations for this weekend?
No, I think I've said multiple times that I talk to most players, not on a daily basis, but a lot. And especially if there are circumstances why I should talk to them, then you talk a little bit more often to them. And it's clear that in Trent's situation, there are circumstances for me to talk more with him than with Virgil, for example. So yes, I am talking to him, and I think that is the biggest difference between me and all the ones that have a purple bin. That I speak to the human being, Trent Alexander-Arnold, every day, and that, I think, combined with winning something together, creates a different bond than maybe the fans have with him. So yeah, I do talk to him quite a lot, actually. Although when we started pre-season, he was quite a lot in my office as well, for other reasons. and now he's in my office a few times as well. Sorry? I think Mo said already a few things about why he was in my office in pre-season, and there were similar reasons why Trent was in my office in the beginning of the season. That's what you meant, or you meant the? Yeah.
He was coming to see you about it. You would have assumed that he was first choice anyway, so I wondered what the conversation was that he needed to come and see you in pre-season.
How? No, maybe he has said it himself, and he's gonna leave either way. So why not telling it? So maybe it's already a first gift I can give Xabi Alonso, but I wasn't completely happy with every single minute how he was on the training ground. So, in my opinion, he could, in certain moments, he could do a bit more, to say it mildly, and that's what we talked about. Combined with that, I said to him, "You're a much better defender than everybody tells you. Unfortunately, you don't show it all the time." And that's why people sometimes say you're not, this is a part of your game you need to improve. But if you are just at it and you're focused and concentrated, there are not many players that can go around him, because he's fast, he's agile, he has great mentality. But yeah, it's about showing that every single game, because in this world we are judged not only on the 34 games we do well, we are mainly judged on the 4 games that we don't do so well. So yeah, these things we spoke about in pre-season.
Thank you.
Mohamed?
Hi Arne. Barcelona sporting director Deco said how much they like Luis Diaz. Just wondered what you thought about that, and how much do you want to keep Diaz at the club?
Did he say this in front of a microphone, or is that from hearsaying that he said this? Quotes of him. Okay. Yeah, every club has his own way of doing things. I think you're used to the fact that I don't talk about players from other clubs that we haven't signed. So yeah, I understand that he's a big admirer of Lucio Diaz, because I'm a big admirer of him as well. He's a great player, having a great season. So yeah, if he just meant it that way, then he probably would have added to that he's an admirer of Mo Salah and Godi Gakpo as well, or didn't he?
Yeah, Marcus Rashford was the
Oh, Marcus Rashford. Nah. That's what I mean. He just said he admires a few players, which we all do. I admire Lamine Jamal and Rafinha a lot as well.
My last one from
Hi Arne. We saw against Brighton, Dom Szoboszlai was playing a little bit deeper as a number 8, and you mentioned before the game that he actually sees this as one of his favourite positions. I wondered, had he had that conversation across the season with you about giving him a chance in that position, and how do you feel like he did?
No, as many players did, we as a team played a good game. Unfortunately, Brighton played a very good game as well. So it was a close call. I think he had a great pass towards Mo, which was the lead up to the first goal. He played a good game, nothing new to see. Just interesting more to see the dynamic on the midfield with Harvey, Dom, and Ryan in behind him. If he wants to play in that position, he is in big competition, because I'm also an admirer of McAllister. So, but also of Dom, by the way. It was interesting to see, but not much more than that.